Yes, the meeting between Ukrainian and Russian delegations was to begin today. Finally, it has launched about half an hour ago with the opening speech by the Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. Now, he did say that it was a window of opportunity for peace right now. He stated that there were two paths ahead for the people here. That he stated that one of them starts for a fresh new start for peace. The other one would be for destruction. So he stated that these are the two paths ahead for those delegations here in Istanbul. He also stated that every passing day costs lives. So that's very important. He also stated that ceasefire must be implemented simultaneously with negotiation. That's very important. So he underlined that ceasefire actually must be implemented as soon as possible. He also stated that these talks could lay the groundwork for a leaders' summit and emphasized that Turkey was ready to contribute in any way possible. So let's take a closer look at what some of the delegation's leaders have already stated. For example, the Russian delegation leader, advisor Vladimir Medinsky, yesterday emphasized that they were serious regarding the talks and that they were ready to potentially implement some possible compromises as well. Now, the Ukrainian delegation leader is Defense Minister Umerov. He was also involved in the 2022 negotiations. He's very experienced because he also participated in prisoner exchange talks as well as the Black Sea grain deal talks as well. So even though if these are not very high-level officials here for these talks, of course, initially we were expecting Zelensky and Putin potentially to take place. Now, these leaders here, the officials here, also have the opportunity to make some progress.
Now, as representatives from both sides are sitting down for their direct engagement in over 3 years, what do each of them have in mind, and where do both parties stand right now?
Well, they have lowered the expectations in a sense. For example, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that they do not have high expectations. This was his statement, but of course, that was already lowered when it was clear that Putin was not going to show up, the Russian president, to meet with Zelensky, who said he was ready to be here, and he was in Ankara yesterday. But this is the first meeting in 3 years, direct meeting between Russia and Ukraine for the first time in 3 years. So it does still mark a major point for progress. Now, according to Reuters, the most important point for Ukraine is, of course, to start the ceasefire right now. They've also stated that they want to potentially start some confidence-building measures, including the return of Ukrainian children and civilians. And they also might discuss potentially lay the groundwork for a potential Putin and Zelensky meeting in the future. Now, we know that Ukraine has been insisting for a ceasefire, an unconditional 30-day ceasefire, and this has been backed by EU leaders as well. They've emphasized that they will potentially impose sanctions, new sanctions. A 17th package of sanctions has been approved by the EU this week. But they also have fundamental differences as well. Russia has stated that they want to be discussing the root causes of the conflict. That would, of course, also include that Ukraine must abandon their NATO membership ambition. This is something that's very significant to Russia as well. They want Ukraine to stay as a neutral country. They also want to keep the territories that they have captured over the years. So this is going to be some fundamental differences that they have to discuss potentially now or in future talks. So it will be critical to see whether or not they're going to be able to agree on some elements or agree to some kind of a beginning to a ceasefire during the talks here.
Michal, thanks so much for that update from Istanbul.